Hello, I'm Johnny. I'm a type 1 diabetic and I've been diagnosed for nearly 2 years now.
Hi, my name is Ken. I've been a type 2 since 1999, which is 23 years ago.
I read a lot of newspapers for school projects and I'm doing one at the moment, and I've noticed that one specific newspaper uses at the time the medical evidence and frames it in a way that makes people with diabetes almost feel ashamed.
Similar to you with the online community rather than anything else that got me more annoyed or angry and frustrated. And you're right, it does shame. And that shame can actually cause much more problems with the diabetes and the guilt as well. You know, it really burns into you. We should never be shamed because it's never our fault. It doesn't matter what type of diabetes you have.
I get more upset about comments from people without diabetes who don't understand it maybe, such as, you know, my friends and family who are close to me. I get a lot more hurt by comments that could be abrasive and that are said by them. Sometimes you see comments by people who are just, you know, trying to be funny, and what they say is actually hurtful.
I tend to agree, because why do you need the flack in a sense? But there again, are we not being part of the problem with not confronting the misinformation that's coming at us? I find that it's something similar in a sense that what people usually say to us with type 2 is, oh, you have the easy diabetes, do you? And I say, no, all diabetes is hard. It doesn't matter which way it works. But what gets me more than anything else is other people with diabetes coming back at you, you know, especially people with type 1 coming back at type 2s, saying, oh, you definitely got the easy one, you know, you don't have to worry about your blood sugars and everything else. Well, afraid that we do, otherwise we will get very ill. Sometimes go on, and sometimes I don't, because the reason being, if I don't, is that I think you'd probably get too much more flack coming back. Other times I will be sometimes the devil's advocate to try and move the discussion on in a different way.
You have to confront it in a non-argumentative way. You've just got to state the facts rather than argue the facts. As long as it's on my platform, I feel comfortable enough to say, this is actually, you know, the case,
Exactly.
it's not this, and you don't leave room for discussion really, I think. We all live with diabetes. We all understand what it's like to have diabetes. I think sometimes it's important for type 1s to understand that some type 2s are on insulin as well. I think that we just need to come together as a community rather than compete as a community.
People with type 2 generally do is hide because of that shame. So I try to be much more vocal in a sense for people with type 2. I'm probably much more on Twitter and Facebook. I mean, TikTok's great for your generation. How can we use it for my generation and the ones in between, shall we say?
I know that sort of cross-platforming is really getting quite big, and I know that on my biggest TikTok video, I think it had over 50 million views, and obviously a lot of that is just the general public. And I noticed that on Instagram I had people messaging me and saying, you know, your TikTok's here, but it's not you uploading it. And I saw that video get across the platforms, and then I noticed on things like Facebook, it was sort of the older generations that were watching this video and understanding just how far, you know, diabetes tech had come. And so I think it's just a case of keep going until you get that hit, and for me the hit came, and I noticed that it reached, you know, many generations of people.
To me, advocacy, which is about speaking up about your diabetes, it doesn't matter what type, and I try to encompass all types of diabetes in it. It gives you that feeling of being able to be much more in control of how you manage your diabetes, so that you can actually speak to healthcare professionals and other people on a more one-to-one basis rather than being patient-doctor. Because if you can't advocate for yourself, then you're going to just be relying on other people to manage your diabetes.
I went to college and I'd spoken up about diabetes and I'd said basically what my form of diabetes was, what it meant for me. And then in the first week, the friends I met, some of them had actually already seen the videos and they were saying, oh, my sister's a fan, you know, they love your videos, I know all about this. And so I only had to say it once. And I'm not saying that, you know, you might only have to advocate for something once, but if enough of us do it just that once, then it's done and that stigma is removed.